College football is just right around the corner. And how do we know that? Well, the calendar tells us, but also there's some polls that are coming out. And in today's video, we will discuss the preseason AP Top 25 poll. Where do your Red Raiders slot in? How does the Big 12 look? And much, much more. Let's get it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Red and Black Report. I am your host, RC Maxfield. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. A lot to discuss in terms of the preseason AP Top 25 poll. But before we get into that, I want to always talk about this when it comes to the polls, and we talk about them here on the channel. I get it. The number does not matter, but also it kind of does, okay? In the sense of if you are in the preseason Top 25, you are more than likely going to have more national games. More national games help you in terms of really just visibility. What does visibility do? Allows recruits to see you, so on and so forth. Yes, in the modern climate of college football, NIL is pivotal in that too, having great facilities, but also you have to be seen in the way that TV networks work, like it or not. They're going to want to have ranked opponents on their networks, and Texas Tech having a number next to their name this early on in the season does matter. But enough with the chit chat. Let's get right into it. Actually, before we do, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button if you want 100% free Texas Tech football and men's basketball content all year long right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. All right, enough with the promo. Let's jump right into it. Here we go. You see it on your screen, the AP poll, the preseason variety. In the top 25, Texas comes in at number 1, Penn State 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson 4, Georgia 5 to round out the top 5. The first Big 12 school in the top 25 is Arizona State at 11. Not too far behind them is Kansas State at 17, and then Iowa State and Texas Tech round out the members of the Big 12 in the preseason top 25 at 22 and 23. I have no issue with where Arizona State is. They're defending Big 12 champions. They bring back their star quarterback in Sam Leavitt. Yes, they do lose Cam Skattebo, but they bring back a lot of other pieces that are good, including arguably the best wide receiver in the Big 12 in Jordan Tyson. Yes, that is Tyson in terms of the Tyson brother that played at Texas Tech and now plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Jalen. So there you go. Cool stuff. Anyway, Kansas State at 17, no problem with that. I do find it interesting that Iowa State is at 22. Main reason is what they're losing on the offensive side of the ball. Yes, they bring back their quarterback in Rocco Becht, who I think is a solid Big 12 quarterback, probably in that 6 to 7 range in terms of the conference. But they lose 2 wide receivers in Higgins and Knoll, who actually, funny enough, went to the Houston Texans in the NFL draft, who were 2 1,000-yard receivers last year. That's hard to replace. They lose some guys on the defense as well. Overall, this feels like they had one of their best seasons in program history. We're going to put them in the AP Top 25 preseason poll. I understand it. But from a talent perspective, there's no way they should be ahead of Texas Tech. Texas Tech, in my opinion, as I get back on the screen here, is the most talented team on paper. I hear what you're saying. On paper doesn't win games. But on paper, Texas Tech is the most talented team in the Big 12, okay? They brought in 13 blue chip recruits in this past transfer portal cycle. The rest of the Big 12, in its entirety, brought in 12. Let me do that math real quick. Texas Tech brought in 13. The rest of the Big 12 brought in 12 as a conference. Pretty good if you're Texas Tech, right? They went out and added, obviously, David Bailey, Howard Sampson, Lee Hunter, guys that we know by now if you're a Texas Tech fan and you are a frequent watcher of this channel, right? We've talked about them ad nauseum. Texas Tech is the most talented team in the Big 12, but that doesn't mean that they should be ranked higher than 23. In fact, I think 22, 23 is exactly where they should be. So I have no qualms with this whatsoever. I do find it interesting, however, where other Big 12 teams that aren't in the top 25 finished in terms of votes. But before we get into that, I got to shout out the sponsor of today's video. And you know how I love me some home field apparel. Yeah, they're back this season. And look at this, the 2025 Texas Tech Platinum Football Box. I'm telling you right now, that hoodie will be coming home with me. That hat will be coming home with me. That long sleeve tee will be coming home with me. Now, the best part about this is we will be doing a giveaway here on the channel later on, right when the season starts. I will be giving away yet again $50 gift cards to Home Field. But right now, you can head on over to homefieldapparel.com and use the promo code RBR15 to get 15% off your new favorite Texas Tech hoodie, shirt, hat, whatever it may be. I promise you they will not disappoint. I wanted to highlight this because that hoodie, I mean, I'm telling you, man, I will be rocking that frequently. And I mean frequently here on the channel. So get ready to see that. But if you want to get one yourself, head on over to homefieldapparel.com before football season starts to get you ready for this pivotal season of Texas Tech football and look good doing it, damn it. Go on over to homefieldapparel.com and use the promo code RBR15 to save 15% off your purchase. All right, let's get into where the Big 12 is in terms of teams not in the top 25. It's interesting because you've got a plethora of SEC schools. I believe it's 9 in the top 25, which is crazy. But you've got BYU, Utah, and Baylor, okay, right outside the top 25. So if you went to top 30 here, okay, the Big 12 would have 7 teams in the top 30. I understand they don't have a number next to their name. It's fine. It's whatever. But at the same time, this kind of shows you the any given week aspect of things in the Big 12. I think Texas Tech, as I said earlier in the video, is the most talented team in the Big 12. I truly believe that. But it's the Big 12. It's any given week, and there are some really talented teams. BYU would be a top 25 team, in my opinion, if they didn't lose their starting quarterback, Jake Retzloff, prior to the start of this season. Right? Baylor, Sawyer Robertson, I think is probably the second best quarterback in the Big 12. I know that hurts Tech fans because, damn it, Matt Wells. I move on, though, okay? Then you've got Utah. They bring in, a guy from New Mexico that, and Devin Dampier that I like at the quarterback spot. They bring some guys back. Are they still as good with Kyle Whittingham there without Cam Rising, right? We'll see this year, but Texas Tech, I think, is right up there, and 23 is a very solid number for the Red Raiders, in my opinion, on where they're ranked. Again, let's go ahead and put it back on your screen in terms of where the top 25 is. You've got Arizona State at 11, Kansas State at 17, Iowa State at 22. Think a little rich for my blood. In fact, I would probably put Baylor in the top 25 over Iowa State. Maybe a hot take, but it is what it is. And then I think Texas Tech is right where they should be, but I do believe they should be ahead of Iowa State. So I would flip those two at the very least. But it doesn't matter because it's not my opinion. It's Ryder's opinion. And this is where Texas Tech will be in terms of the AP preseason top 25 poll when they kick off on August 30th at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time out at Jones AT&T Stadium in Lubbock, Texas, against Arkansas Pine Bluff. I believe it's the Lions. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's the Lions. I believe so. But let me know down in the comments. You think Texas Tech at 23 is fair, not fair? Again, I think this is probably where they should be. There's a lot of prove it factor here for this Texas Tech team, in my opinion, and that's coming from a guy that hand up for accountability. I'm drinking some Kool-Aid, people. I am, and it's just because the more that I see these guys and the more people talk to me that are close to this program, talk to me about these guys, it's hard for me not to get excited. But again, let me know down on the comments below. Do you think Texas Tech at 23 is fair, not fair? Should they be higher or lower? Let me know down in the comments below. And head on over to homefieldapparel.com. Again, you can save 15% off your new favorite Texas Tech shirt, hoodie, jacket, whatever it may be, when you use the promo code RBR15. And I chose 15 because there's this guy in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, and also you get 15% off. So there you go. It worked out well. We love synergy here on the channel. I knew y'all would love that. But again, that's going to do it for today's video. Texas Tech comes in at number 23 in the preseason AP top 25 poll. Let me know your thoughts down in the pinned comment or just in the comments below in general. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, to stay safe and welcome Tech.